Welcome back. We are Kegan and Megan with Keep Cool Eco Sleep here on the Keepin It Cool podcast. We've got another episode for you today about what, Kegan?
Well, this one's about hot takes.
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
We all got opinions about what goes down in the pit or goes over your head when you're not in the pit. And we thought we'd break down some of our thoughts about things that go down at festivals. But we want to know what you think. So, after you hear what we have to say, we want your comments about, we'll get into what we're going to talk about.
So, we're just going to talk about festival behavior, and the things we like, maybe, and some of the things we don't necessarily like. And Megan and I might not always have the same opinion on this one. So let's kick it off with crowdsurfing. It's all fun until somebody gets a boot in the head, right?
Which I have had many a boot in the head.
I think it's a mixed bag, and I appreciate the fun that it is for the people who love it. I like my feet on the ground. That's all I got to say about that. One of the things that, kind of stresses me about crowdsurfing, Megan, like the main thing, is that the audience involved in the crowdsurfing, that be the crowd surfer or the people who have to turn their head every 5 seconds, they're not paying attention to the band. And, it's awesome and it's fun. And, that's what the vibe is about, is having that fun. But sometimes I want to pay attention to the band. So it can be a little challenging to navigate that, and looking behind you all the time, that's stressful.
Yeah.
And that's what, I don't go to a show to get stressed out. I go to a show to relieve stress.
Yeah. No, I totally know what you mean. I know when I think of crowdsurfing, like two instances come to mind. So there was one time that we had seen in this moment like 6 or 7 times, like in this one year, and a similar show. So, because obviously you're touring, you're going to have a similar show. So we saw them at Louder Than Life, and they were, on point, great as always. And there was tons of crowd surfers. But because we had already seen the show and seen them a lot that year, it was really fun to just be part of the experience, so I had no problem like looking behind me, trying to help people up, trying to catch people, that wasn't a problem. I don't really remember the set, but I had seen a similar version of the set so many times that it wasn't as big of a deal. Now, fast forward to a couple years earlier when we were at an Avenged Sevenfold show, and this was literally the second time I had ever seen Avenged Sevenfold. We had seen them, I think, a couple months prior, only once. And that was way more distracting because I really wanted to watch the show. I really wanted to watch the set. And the whole time you're looking behind you, like he said, making sure someone's not going to kick you in the head. Someone's not going to get dropped on you, because I've had people fall on top of me. And I'm like, I'm not very big. I'm not very strong. And having somebody's full weight land on your neck right here, like, that hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, so it really is a mixed bag. And like you're saying, I think you want people to be able to have fun, and I have nothing against crowd surfing, but when it's just like body after body after body after body, and you're just basically watching the show like this, it can get a little detracting for, the other people involved.
Yeah, and to reiterate my point, the artists noticed that. Like, I've definitely seen artists where they're just like, man, are you guys even watching us? Like, we're up here singing our heart out, having a good old time, trying to get you in, and you're just, everybody's looking back behind them. Something else that bothers me about crowd surfing is that there's this expectation that, like, I have to help, and I'm a nice guy. I really am. I think I am. Sometimes I'm an asshole, but
most of the time, though.
Yeah. I don't feel like I should be obligated to go over there like 3 feet over and help people out because someone made their decision. You know, if you make your decision to crowd surf, it's not my responsibility to keep you up. So that's another thing on the crowd surfing. Now, go ahead.
Oh, do you want to talk about if you are crowd surfing or if you are in the group? Like, do you want to talk about that now? Like, one of the things that I hate about crowd surfing isn't even so much the crowd surfers. It's the people who are helping by throwing people.
Oh.
Don't throw crowd surfers. That's rude, first of all. It's unsafe for them, and it's really unsafe for the person who you are throwing them on that doesn't know they're coming. Again, I'm pretty sure the time someone dropped on the back of my neck was because someone threw them. Like, it's not funny. It's not cool. Like, keep your arms up and just move people or get out of the way. But don't chuck people. It's not cool. Don't. Yeah. It's just going to get somebody hurt. And nobody is here to get somebody hurt. Unless you're in the pit, which is another thing we'll talk about in a minute. But that's different.
I don't know that I agree with that statement. But, I agree with what you're saying about, like, not launching people, though. Yeah. Like, that's just mean. Yeah. Like, you know, why? Why be mean like that? So, I will say, I want people to have that fun, and I want artists to encourage them to have that fun, too. So, I don't know the best solution. I'd love to see, like, artists pick a song or two and go, yeah, this is the crowd surfing song. Let's do it. Like, I remember A Day to Remember, they're like, let's get a crowd surfer on top of a crowd surfer. And they did, and it was dope. It was so cool to see that, and it was so cool to see all the crowd surfers all at once, you know, make it this special moment, you know, as opposed to the whole show being like that.
Yeah. I think it might be helpful, too, if crowd surfers were a little bit more proactive and like, hey, I'm coming, you know, because then you don't have to have people maybe looking behind as much. Not that you're going to hear them anyway, though.
Yeah, so. You're not going to hear them.
Yeah, everyone just needs to get megaphones if they're crowd surfing. Coming through.
Oh, well, and that's another thing. It is common courtesy if somebody, if you're catching a crowd surfer, you know, holler, heads up, you know, and I totally do that, and I buy into that. You know, that's the least you can do.
For sure.
But definitely want to stay focused on the set as much as I can, you know, and sometimes I'll have to move way off to the side just to be able to focus on the set. It's like, you know, I wish I could be a little bit off to the side. Or another theory to solve this problem, have a body surfer lane, you know, have the people who want to, you know, get the excitement of being in body surfer lane, be in that lane. And this isn't really a practical solution, but it's an idea, you know.
I don't know. There's people who have the signs that say pits. Maybe people can have signs that say body surfers this way.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of people who have signs that say pits, let's talk about mosh pits.
Yeah.
Because we've already kind of hinted at it. That's another big thing that, you know, is a staple at the festivals that we go to.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably have stronger opinions on this than I do as a mosher or a former mosher.
I still get in a pit, maybe just not as heavy ones, or maybe after I've had enough to drink to have the liquid courage to do it. It's also not smart at my age, like, you know, not that I'm super old, but like I feel it sometimes.
Some days, the last day of Louder Than Life, you feel very, very old.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's a lot to say about mosh pits. You know, one of the things I love to say about mosh pits is help each other out. You know, when someone gets knocked down, pick them up. And I love the artists when they contribute to that conversation and they're like, hey, everybody help each other out in the pit. So, yeah. And I would say another thing is most pits shouldn't be about hurting each other. And if it were up to me, all pits wouldn't be about hurting each other. So don't throw bows or, you know, it's about getting that adrenaline out and letting loose and letting your hair down. So yeah, just show each other respect in a mosh pit. Mosh respectfully.
I think as a non-mosher, the biggest thing is just, keeping an eye on where the pits seem like they're going to be popping, and sometimes they will pop up right next to you, but you just gotta know if you take a few steps over, you'll be out of it. And I don't think I've ever been, I've never been drawn into a mosh pit or anything against my will. So I've been close and just been like, whoop, let me scooch this way. But, I haven't had an experience where people are making you do it if you don't want to, because it's a much better time if everyone's enjoying it. So.
Yeah. Do we want to go into our next topic then?
Yeah.
So, Wall of Death.
Boom, boom, boom.
Epic or overhyped? No. Walls of Death is epic, right? They're cool. I've never done one.
I don't know if I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I've ever seen one that was actually like, everyone's like, yeah, Wall of Death, let's go. Most of them are like, the artist is like, do a Wall of Death. Like, we were at one band, and he's like, I'm not going to play this song until you all do a Wall of Death. So it's a very, like, okay, if we must, but,
But cinematically, like, the pictures of them and the videos of them, they look cool.
Yeah.
And, I've watched some. I've been close to them. They do look cool, and they're a cool way to start a mosh pit. I don't know. I don't know what else to say on a Wall of Death.
If you don't want to participate, though, just
get GTFO.
Yeah.
GTFO.
It's perfectly fine to GTFO in all of these situations. So it doesn't make you less cool to know your boundaries. So.
Yeah.
Like, your girl, don't do any of these things because I'm a weenie. So.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You're metal enough. Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't have married you otherwise. Yeah. By the way, we did get engaged at a metal show. Just dropping that there. Just drop that.
Just sprinkling that little bit of knowledge.
Yeah, but maybe if you're lucky enough, we'll do an episode on that.
The main theme, and this is the main theme for this next one we're going to talk to about general crowd etiquette. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, people, you are here to, maybe relieve some stress, get your endorphins going, things like that. If you have to be a dick in order to do that, you need to reevaluate your life in general, because other people being miserable should not be the thing that makes you happy. Like, sure, if you want to, like, with mutually other people, want to run into people and do a mosh pit, cool. If everyone's fine with it, cool. But you don't need to be going around trying to start fights, trying to push people, just being a big pain in the butt because you're trying to blow off some steam. Like, why you gotta bring people down to build yourself up? Don't be that guy.
Yeah. So I guess this is maybe a hot take. Don't push forward if you showed up late. In my opinion, it's okay to push forward to the pit. I think it's a totally reasonable thing. Because, you're trying to get to a specific spot where you can't get to anywhere else. And I've definitely been walled out of that and maybe had to be a little bit of an asshole in some of those moments.
Yeah, I will say, if you think someone's trying to get to the pit, like if they're not trying to push to the front and they're trying to go to that pit, your best bet is just to let them through, because you don't really want to get in the way of somebody who really wants to get to the pit. Right. Let them blow off their steam there,
Speaking of being a dick, I wanted to talk about an experience we all had where someone was pushing forward. It wasn't even that close. Like, the guy was just kind of, being aggressive to people who are spaced out enough. You don't even need to be aggressive with them. What happened was he was just, taking up a lot of space and just like doing this number.
Oh, he was shoulder checking people. That's
as he went forward, and he got shoulder checked by somebody, and the somebody was this little guy who just wasn't in the mood for it. So he gives this guy a good shoulder in response. Well, what happened then, Megan?
Well, this guy looked back at him like he was about to start a fight. And you could palpably feel like, again, I'm not the kind of person who's going to get into a fisticuffs with somebody. You could palpably feel about 4, 5, 6 people looking around, letting this guy know with their eyeballs that you couldn't even see that if he was about to throw a bow at this guy, there was going to be trouble.
Yeah.
And, like, you could feel the energy. And this guy decided wisely that it wasn't worth starting a fight after he had already been a dick. So, just don't be a dick.
Just don't be a dick. Especially, you know, in those cases where you're just there to be a dick.
Yeah.
So,
just find something else, you know? There's headbanging. Headbanging's fun. That helps relieve tension. There's moshing. There's crowd surfing.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people who like to run around in circles. Like, there's lots of cool
just
stuff.
little mosh pits with your friends, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's what you're there for. Let it out. Have fun. Don't be a dick to each other. Speaking of don't be a dick to each other, if there is someone crowd surfing and just don't be gross. Like, just don't, like, be groping people intentionally, you know, to get a feel or anything like that.
Not cool.
People notice, and it's not cool. It's gross.
I usually like to do, you know, arms up, like, palms flat, and I'll, like, push like this. If you're up there, like, grabbing and squeezing, like, that's not cool.
Yep. The main time that you have to be a little more forceful is when they do what happened to Megan and what's happened to me many times.
Yeah.
When they land on you, you just got to get them off you.
Right.
So, yeah, I've
but again, there's a
intentionally had some moments there.
Pushing someone off and, you know, it's not cool. And it doesn't, you know, as a lady, you know, who potentially that happens to more, it's not cool. It doesn't help us enjoy the experience. Don't be a dick.
Oh, we got some other good ones here. Don't film the whole set. Like, I mean, that's up to you. Personally, actually, I'm kind of indifferent on this matter. As long as you're not interfering with the people behind you, it's probably fine.
Okay, if you're gonna film like here. Don't be filming way up here, especially if you're 6 foot tall and like blocking everybody's view. And then don't be filming the entire set, and don't be live streaming it. Touch some grass. Be in the moment, be in the show. You will never have this moment again. And I don't care how nice your phone is. I don't care how good you think the audio quality is or the video quality. It ain't going to be the same as being there. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like,
I don't know.
If you want, okay, this is my hot take.
Yeah.
This is Megan's strong opinion hot take.
Yeah.
Like, I've recorded videos for people before, you know, and I watch them later and I'm like, man, this is just not the same. Like, maybe I don't have the right phone or whatever, but nah, it's just live in the moment.
Yeah. Personally, I like to take 30-second to a minute and a half videos. Keep it quick. Something I would like to take more of is the in-between songs. You know, because some of that stuff's interesting. I love to hear what the artist has to say, or some of the artists are pretty funny. So I wish I was more vigilant and able to do that, but shoot, I could be one of those nerds and wear a GoPro and catch everything. And, you know, I don't blame people for that. Like, I love reliving the moment, and I don't blame people for recording it and wanting to have that memory, But
are you having the memory if you're recording the whole thing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, are you really enjoying it if you're thinking more about... Again, if you want to, like, have the snippets, I get that, but are you really living in the moment if you're spending the entire time like this, watching it through your screen?
Yeah. Try it both ways. See what you like.
Yeah.
If you really like watching it through the screen, do it. Just do it respectfully, in my opinion. I imagine artists would rather you just live in the moment. They probably don't like their videos being plastered all over. Although, now that I think about it, it is free marketing and free advertising for them.
Some artists have actually banned the use of phones at their shows. Because, I mean, I imagine, again, I'm not an artist, but I think it would be annoying as an artist to an extent to be singing this song, you know, and looking out into a crowd and not seeing the excitement of people's faces and their engagement, but just seeing like phones there, you know.
Another no. Try and not have your flash on while your phone's on.
Oops.
Yeah, definitely done that a couple times. Well, unless they're doing the like.
Yeah, the flashlight.
Hold your phones up kind of thing, but so that's fine. But yeah, try and be careful with that stuff. Wearing the band T-shirt at their own show. I do that. I love that. Some genres really don't like that, but that's my thing. I want that artist to know I'm there for them. Now, sometimes I don't have their merch, so I won't wear it. But yeah, I love wearing the artists I'm there to see some merch because I want them to know that I love them.
I honestly don't understand why people say this is a problem, because why would I not want to? Like, so much of artist money now comes from merch sales. Why would I not want to not only show the artist that I have supported them by buying their merch, but also advertise for them to other people, especially at like a festival setting? Like, hey, I want y'all to know this is the band that I am very excited to see. You know, you should go see them too and be a fan as well. So I don't understand the like, oh, it's so lame to go to a show and wear the artist's merch. Why? Do you think that artist is up there being like, oh my gosh, all these posers wearing my merch? What? No? They're probably excited to see, especially small bands. You know, yeah, maybe like your Metallicas don't care, but like I'm sure the small band that's just getting merch out for the first time, if they went to another show and saw somebody with their merch, they'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And like, I know some people think that they're really cool for knowing the band first and other people having their merch is lame. Why do you not want your band that you love to be successful? Don't be that guy.
Speaking of that, gatekeeping is lame.
Gatekeeping is super lame.
So I think this is maybe a touchy subject for Megan. As most of these are.
Again, I have very strong opinions about very weird things.
But, yeah, if somebody wears a shirt, that's their prerogative. If they wear a shirt of a band you like, tell them, sweet shirt.
Yeah, don't be like, oh, name 3 songs. What?
Yeah, which I've never seen anybody do that in real life, but, yeah, it's lame.
That happened to my sister once over a movie. Super duper lame.
Yeah.
And even if they just bought the shirt because they thought it was cool. Again, they're advertising for your favorite band.
Yeah.
Why are you upset about that? They paid money for a band you like, so now they have more money to do the thing that they love and that you say that you love that they do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Don't you want to encourage your band?
You know what? Here's how the conversation should go. Hey, I love your shirt. You know, if you want, what's your favorite song? And if they're like, oh, actually, I don't know this band that well, I just really liked it. You're like, well, you know what? I'm glad you're supporting them. You should check out this album. I think it's really cool. And then you grow the conversation rather than shut it down. Don't be that guy. Don't be a dick. This is really just Megan getting angry.
If you agree or disagree, let us know. We want to hear your hot takes and what you think of our bold opinions about this really important topic. Until next time, Megan, be cool to each other.